Hello great people, you are welcome back to Physique channel. My name is Ola. Today we will be learning how to make one stylish flare dress with yoke. So I'll be using this African print Ankara to make the flare part, while this Ankara will be used for the yoke part. So let's get started. Now for this project, I'll be using the upper part of our basic bodies to do some illustration for the yoke part of this project. So actually you can measure direct on your fabric for this project, but for the purpose of some clarity, that is why I'm using this upper part of this basic bodies. So you know that particular style we're sewing is like off shoulder. So for that purpose, we are going to first of all get our chest line. You know, when you are drafting your off shoulder, you come down like 3.5 to 4 inches. So for this project, I'll be using 4 inches. Mark the 4 inches there. 4 inches. So this will serve as our upper chest line. So another thing I want to determine now is the depth of my neckline. So you can use it depends on you. You can use 5.5 or 6 inches. So for this project, I will just use 5 inches. I don't want it to be too low. So now to determine the wideness of my neck, now I'll be using 4 to 4.5. I'll be using 4 inches. So these 4 inches now, I will connect it in form of a sweetheart neckline. So it goes this way. So our neckline has been formed now. So from this neckline now, I'm going to reconnect my armhole cuff. So I'm just looking at it, whether it's not going to be. Let's use 4.5. So from this 4.5, I connect to my armpit region of my chest line. So my armhole cuff has been reconnected now. So the next thing I'll be doing is to add my joining allowance. So before that, let me add 1 inch for the side seam. So then I'll be adding half an inch for the joining allowance of my armhole cuff. So we measure half an inch now. So this is it. We are going to cut out this now. So for us to cut out this, we'll be adding our joining allowance here. The next thing we want to do is from this point now, from the depth of our neckline, we want to, to create that yoke. We'll be coming down like 2 inches. Because this is the chest line, and that yoke is not actually getting to the chest line. 2 inches. So depends on the form you want this to take. I mean, for this down part. So I'll just connect it. So this is our yoke now. So all we need to do is to add the joining allowance of half an inch. Connect it. So this is our yoke now, and this is what we are going to be using as a template, to cut out the yoke part of this project. So you can just add 1/4 inch to the upper region here, just for the joining. So this is what we'll be using. So for this place, by the time you cut out the flare part of this project, by the time you cut out your flare, this is the form the flare normally take. So that is why you have to leave this place like this. So this is the yoke I'll be using to cut out, and the pattern we'll be using to cut out our yoke. Then we move straight to the flare part. Now we have gone ahead to cut out our yoke. this is it. I've cut out, I use the same fabric for both the lining and the main fabric, and I've joined it in here with a quarter of an inch that we added here. So here we have it. By the time we cut out the flare now, so you see how this will be aligned with our flare. But if you want to trim it to come straight, you are still good to do that. So now we want to cut out our flare now, and now you will see the reason why we use the pattern to cut out this, because we will still need part of this place to sort out our flare parts now. So we want to cut the front parts now. We'll be using this to achieve the front flare cut. We'll be measuring what we are having in the down part of this yoke. You know, it was unfolded before, now I've opened it. So this is the front yoke now. When I measure it, everything, I have 13 inches in the front, down part of the front yoke. I have 13 inches, and the kind of flare we are making is having some kind of kissing pleating around here. We are having like kissing pleatings in three places in the front view here. So for that purpose, we'll be multiply what we are having here, you know, because this place is going to serve as the circumference for our front flare. So this we have here now, I'll be multiplying it by 2 so as to give room for that kissing pleats. So if I multiply 13 inches by 2, it gives me 26 inches. So it is that 26 inches that I'll be using as my as the circumference of my front flare now. So the flare we are making here is we are going to be using 90-degree method of flare. And to get 90 degree, the formula for it is the circumference over 1.571. You know, for 360 degree is circumference over 6.284. For 180 is circumference over 3.124. So now for 90 degree now is circumference over 1.571. This 26 now, if you divide 26 by 1.571, it will give us something like a 16.5. So 16.5 is our radius now. The radius we'll be using to get our flare. So, and to fold this our 90-degree flare, this is the way we do it. Flare. You take the tip of your fabric this way. This is the tip. Then you just fold it to meet each other this way. This is it. This is the way you fold your fabric to get your 90-degree flare. So that which we calculated to be 26 over 1.571 will give you 16.5. So you measure 16.5 here. The whole length of our gown is 35. We are making short gown. So in that wise, that's 35 now. The length of our gown, of the flare part of our gown, will be determined from this point. It will be determined from this point, you know. Yoke will be attached to the upper part. So the flare part is starting here. So in that wise, we measure where we are having this point. We measure it from the top. So it happens to be on 6 inches or thereabout. That is where we have this one. So half an inch will be added to it for joining allowance. So we step up with half an inch. So this is it. So which means the length of our gown now, we are going to deduct this 5.75. What we are having from here to this point, we will deduct it from our the length of our gown. So we deduct 6 inches because we might use just quarter to join it in. So if we deduct 6 inches from 35 inches, it will remain 29 inches. So 29 inches is going to be the length of our gown now. On this down part now, it is 29 inches I want to get there now. So I'm having 28.5. If your whole length is longer than this, you are good to add to the down part of this flare. But for this project, this is what I'll be using. So this to get my 29 inches now, even I will have to have an inch to it down there. So I need 29.5. So which means what I need is somewhere here. So it means this my radius. I will step up with 1 inch to get what I want. So I will use the remaining surplus I'm having will be used to, to gather the kissing plates. So when you are making yours, you might just choose to add to the down parts. But for the sake of this video, so there won't be time to be doing that. So I will just borrow the remaining inches from this upper part. So this is what I will be cutting out now. So any surplus I have here will be used as to hold my kissing plates. So from this point now, I will measure down 29.5. That is what I will measure around 29.5. So 29.5 is what will be used for my gown length for the front now. So I'll cut this out. So this is for the front cut. I will cut out my lining the same way. After we have hold our kissing plates, or even before we hold our kissing plates, what we'll be doing is that from this point now, we'll be stepping down. From here, from this very point, we'll be stepping down to this point. Have an inch seam allowance is being added. So from here to here now, whatever we have, from here, from this very, we step up with quarter of an inch. From that place to this end, we have 1.5. So later we'll be stepping down on this front cut with 1.5. 1.5. We will use it to shape our hammer cuff, just like this. So as to match with the back cut, because for the back it is the chest line, which is 8 inches we are using at the back, because we are not adding any yoke at the back. We are using this length direct at the back. So for this to align with the back cut, we'll be shaping our hammer just the way you are seeing it in the thumbnail. Before this is attached, we must have had our kissing plates like 3 places. So by then it will be everything we align. So let me cut out the lining the same way. Join the back to the front, back and front together. I'll fix my pockets, because I will just drop the link of how to cut a female pocket for the dress. If you have video on that, I will drop the link for that. Time will not permit us to be doing all this one in this video. Now for the back cut of this dress, we are not gathering anything, no kissing pleating at the back. So what we'll be using to fold your, as your circumference of your flare is just what we are having here. That is our chest. The bust circumference is what we'll be using. And the bust circumference is 8.5. It's 34. So we divide it by 4. It gives us 8.5. You have the seam allowance of half an inch. So that is 9. So it is 9 inches you'll be considering in folding your fabric. And the length of your back, the length of your back flare is going to be starting from this your chest line, which is 8 inches. You deduct 8 inches from the 35, which is the original length. If you deduct 8 inches, it gives you 27 inches. So that 27 inches you have one to it. You place your tape and see where you can get your 9 inches. You can get it here. So I mark it. Let's see what we're having. 11.5. 11.5. So we have our 9 inches on 11.5. So I mark 11.5, go round. Then we get 28 inches. Unknown to me, my camera stopped when I was cutting this back flare. So it stopped while I was still cutting the down part. So I just cut this side. So now I'm cutting the lining. So this is I'm cutting it the same way. This is the way the upper part of this flare was cut out. And I said it when I was cutting this one that by the time I will be cutting the lining, I will be reducing my lining with 1 inch. So that by the time I turn it in, the lining will not be filling at the down part there. So this is the same way I cut out the lining for the front flare as well. So the next thing is to go for the joining. Now, so far, I've gone ahead to join the main fabric of the front and back of main fabric. I've gone ahead to join it together by the side, and I've fixed my pockets. You know, they are in the side pockets, two of them. I told you I'll be dropping the link for this, and I changed my mind. You know, I wanted to do full lining for this project before, but I changed my mind. So I later reduced the length of the lining by 5 instead of 1 inch. Where you put on flare, full lining flare, it's used to look funny many a times. So I want to leave it like this. So I won't fold in the lining. I've cut off 5 inches from the lining. And if you are a beginner, you are even good to do without lining. So, but for to have the strength, that is why lining is necessary. So I've folded I've hemmed the down part of my flare. I joined the lining and the fabric together up here. The front lining is joined to the front fabric at the upper region here. It's just a 1/4 of an inch. So and the next thing I want to do now is to shape the armhole of this of the front part. So we are going to bring it together this way. So I'll be using this to shape our armhole for the front part only. So this, as it is now, that I will be, when I'll be using just 1/2 inch as my joining allowance. So I measure 1 inch here before, so I deduct 1/2 inch from it. So I will cut out this. We are doing this so that you will have accurate measurements. You won't just be doing guesswork. So, as it is now, you will place this here. This is a foot. Let me do it this way. So this is the way it's going to be now. And see, for only the front. So our armhole has been formed for these fronts now. So the next thing, we are going to stitch it. We are going to stitch it here, but for lining, I will be joining lining and lining together. Fabric and fabric has been joined together for the main fabric. So I'll be joining the side of lining and lining together as well. But I will join this very place with 1/4 of an inch. Then I will top stitch on this one. I will top stitch here. I will do the same thing at the back. And for the back, this is the back. You can see this is what we are having here at the back now. If you measure it, it's around 18 inches. So when it is unfolded, it gives you 9 inches, which will be too long for back bust region, chest line at the back. This will be too much for it. All we need here is around like 6.5. This is a off shoulder. We need like 6.5. So what we'll be doing with this excess is that we'll be holding kissing pleating at the center of the back as well. So I'll first of all top stitch on this, then I will get the center and do something kissing pleating, just one for the back. I'll go ahead to join the lining and the fabric together, and it has been top stitched. So the next thing we want to do now is to join this flare to the yoke parts. And to achieve that, you will get the midpoint of this of the front cut, the front flare and the back flare. You first of all get the midpoint, you mark it. Then you measure everything you are having in the upper part of this front cut. You measure from the where the armhole cuff was created. So you can just place it on fold this way. Let it be on fold and measure what you are having from this point. From this point, this is where our armhole was created. You measure what we are having. So we are having 10 inches. If you open it, it amounts to 20 inches. So, and here we have 12 inches. You know, it was 13 inches before. I've gone ahead to sew in half an inch here, half an inch here. So you can see, and this place has been overlocked. So which means we have 20 inches here. We have 12 inches here. If we deduct 12 inches from 20 inches, it gives us 8 inches. So it is that 8 inches we want to use for our pleated keys now. So if we want our pleated keys to be in 3 places. So this is the center front. We have 10 inches, so you mark here 5 inches. You get 5 inches from the center. Here again, you know, it's 10 inches, you mark 5 inches. So these are the 3 places we want to create our kissing pleats. So 3 places. It might not necessarily be here, because the first thing we have to do is to hold the center one. So after getting the center one, so all we want to achieve at this point is 12 inches. So let me use spin to hold it down. So that 8 inches, if we divide it into 3, we get something 2.5, then 3. So in this center front, we are going to use 3. We will be holding 3 inches as our kissing pleats. We take 1.5 here. We take 1.5 here as well. So let me just hold it down with spin first. So this is the first, the center kissing pleats. So I hold the second one here. So, I told you it might not necessarily be here. So you measure from this point again, what you are having. We have 8 inches, we mark it. So you hold it. And note that which I did when I was cutting this flake, that I have to borrow from the upper part, that for the length of my flake to be enough. So I just did it because I needed a little, just 1 inch. So I know it will not affect this place much, because that which we borrow from is what we are supposed to use to gather these pleats. So you know, it will definitely reduce the amount left out. So don't do that when you are making yours, especially when the length of your gown is longer than this. So just by the time you are added to the down part, you will have enough fabric up here. This is it. So you can see that it matches there now. It matches our yoke now. We are looking for 12 inches, yes. So after gathering these kissing pleats, I'm able to have my 12 inches. So I will go ahead and stitch this down. Then I attach this yoke to it by placing this on the upper part, just this way, and I will stitch it down tiny on this. So after I've stitch down all these pleats. So the same thing will happen to the back parts. After we have after joining the side with 1/2 inch. So what we need at this back now is 12 inches. So when we place it on fold, it amounts to 6 inches. So we hold it by the side here to know what we are having all together here. We have 8.5 and we need 8 inches. So it is the remaining 2.5 that we are going to use as our kissing pleats now. So we mark the center of this back as well. Mark the center. So 2.5, you know, it was on fold. So it amounts to 5 inches. So by the time you fold 2.5 here, it will give you 1/4. So you measure, you fold 2.5 here as well. By the time you fold it this way, it will amount to 1/4. 1/4. So you hold it. So this is, I'm going to hold this as center kissing pleat for the back. So this is the way it's going to be. So we are getting there. So let me just join the yoke. I will join this yoke to the center front, I mean to the front flay, as I've told you. Then thereafter we cut out a strap 2 inches wide. 2 inches wide. Then this is what we use to calculate the measurement of your strap, the length. So you know, for the front, this is what we use to come down after the shoulder slope, 3 inches. 3 inches. So for the back, this is it for the back. 8 inches, you deduct the shoulder slope of 1 inch, 7 inches. So it is this 7 inches plus 3 inches. That is 10 inches. Then you had a 1 inch joining allowance, making 11 inches. So it is 11 inches by 2 inches you will cut out as the strap for your spaghetti sleeve. So this is it, and you take it to the machine, turn it this way, and stitch down. Then you place it here. After you have joined it, you place it here. You attach it here, then you attach it to the back. So those are the things I'll go and do now. Then I will come and show you the final result of this our flared dress. Let me go and do that. So this is our dress. I've gone to fix the spaghetti sleeve on it. This is it. So, and the short zipper is fixed by the left side of the dress for easy wearing. Short invisible. This is the inner view. So if you don't attach lining to yours, all you need to do, you can just pipe the armpit region. So I'll fold in this side. So if no lining is attached. So this is it. You can see how beautiful and neat the inner part of it is looking. In the course of the study, when you hear me saying the dress is like off shoulder, it's not really that the dress is off shoulder, but the concept, the method you have to use to arrive at this stage is more or less like that of off shoulder. So that is what I mean. So let me go and put it on the body. You see the beauty of it. I'm sure you have really enjoyed this video. Drop your comments on the comment section, like it, share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Physique channel, if you have not done.